Ronnie Hinds, Chief Executive of Fife Council.
Okay.
We wanted to adopt more flexible working because we need to make savings and we also need to give customers better service. So flexible work styles gives us the opportunity to manage both those things. The primary aim is to increase the productivity of the staff, make better use of the assets that we have, so we don't need to have so many office and other types of buildings, that people are working more flexibly as opposed to coming into a building all the time. But also it means that they're better able to get to the customer and spend more time with the customer rather than doing administrative work, if you like, around the job. Well, we've got an aspiration in Fife Council to be the best performing authority in the country. So to do that, we've decided we need to give the best customer service, we need to get our costs down as low as we can do, and we also need to empower our staff. So this flexible work styles programme really ticks all three of those boxes for us. Well, we think flexible work styles gives staff more control over their work, and we have to support them obviously with good technology, good training, the right kind of policies to do the work under, but it gives them that measure of control that they otherwise might not have, and I think that's a major benefit so far as the staff are concerned, and we think it will increase their job satisfaction as well as a result of that. Well, to set flexible working up, you've got to invest. First of all, you have to invest money because there's a technology component to this and that has to be paid for. You also need to invest time, and particularly management time. Managers need to get used to different ways of managing staff. What really matters after all is the outcome from the work and getting the right results for the customer, not so much the time that's put into doing the job. So managers need to learn to manage a little differently because of that. So that's two major investments, if you like, time and money. But also we're having to do things like redesign some of our office environments because people are no longer spending as much time behind a desk or working in that kind of environment as opposed to working out in the field. So we're trying to design the office environment around that so that people can work in these flexible work styles. We're really pleased with the way staff have responded to this. To start with, I think it was largely because the staff themselves had got to the point of realising that there were different ways that the job could be done, and they were sometimes quite frustrated they couldn't get on with that. So we want to empower the staff to do the work the way they see fit, they know best. And I think it's to the credit of our staff that they've taken that kind of view of this initiative and they've actually seized the bull by the horns. So we think it's going really well, largely because the staff are on board with it. Well, I'd say there's two or three things. First and foremost, we have to change the culture of the organisation, make people think differently about the nature of their work and how they do it. Related to that, there's a managerial challenge here. Managers need to think differently about how they manage their staff and to be setting targets and so on for staff that are based more on the outcomes that we're trying to deliver, the services that we're trying to improve on for our customers. And allied to all that in turn, there's a technology element. We need to make sure we've got the right technological support for staff who are trying to work in this more flexible way so that they don't need to be coming into the office to do some of the administrative stuff that necessarily goes with the job. So if you add those things together, cultural, managerial and technology-led change, that seems to me to be the gist of what we're trying to change here. Well, when it comes to the training and support you need to make this work, it just makes sense for us to collaborate with other councils or other organisations who are thinking in similar terms. It saves money after all, and that's what we're trying to do in the first place. But also there's a shared learning opportunity there. What we do and what another council might do could be significantly different, and it's worth us knowing that and them knowing what we're doing so we can get the best out of it for all our councils. I think we all need to look seriously now at this kind of change to how services are delivered and how staff do their jobs. So I would certainly encourage anybody who is thinking about it to look carefully at what we've been able to do. We in turn look very carefully at what BT had done, so we had a good idea beforehand of what the benefits of this would be and how we could best get them. We're more than happy to share our knowledge and learning with other people who may be considering this. And maybe the last point I would make is do it working in partnership wherever possible. There's no point in us all reinventing the wheel.